Let's get this chaos party started. Hey everybody, this is Everyman's 40K channel and I am Everyman, your host. So we are going to get this chaos party started, as I said in the opener. So in front of you, we have a chaos knight, or at least pieces of a chaos knight. This is just a partial kit. I had some friend of mine who had some leftover pieces from some various kits that he's had. He went ahead and put all these in a bag and handed all this over. So I am going to take all these components and we are going to try to assemble at least the top half or top portion of a knight. This is a chaos Magaera. So let's describe what we have in front here, in the camera, in the view lens here. So we have a 3D printed body. This piece here is a resin cast piece, and it is just out of whack. It will not come together very good or cleanly. It's somehow kind of warped. Something's wrong with it. We're going to keep this because this might end up being a good piece to put on the base or something like that, to have the knight that we build standing on it. So we're going to keep this, obviously. We never throw anything away. So we have a top here, which is the top for an Imperial. So we're not going to use that. We have another top here. This one looks like it's cast, not plastic. This one looks like the GW plastic. This one is cast, both the same. So these we're not going to use. I only have half of a Reaper chainsaw or chain cleaver. We can't use that. Here is the Magaera's carapace armor, so we're going to use this combined with this. We're going to use the gun, which I've already done some assembly. As you can see here, I put that together. This arm I put together. We're going to use this. This here I've already worked on. I put that together. This arm, or this component right here, that is from a Cerastus knight, and that's part of their arm, but I went ahead and stole that for the siege claw, so we're going to use that. And I put some star washers on the top. We're going to use these. We have two different sets of shoulder plates. These are for the Imperial. We have the Magaera shoulder plates here. We're going to use these. We got the head. So obviously we're going to use that one. We got some couple extra bits. Some exhausts that don't work. So we are not going to use these exhausts. Again, another piece of a gun. We can't use it. We definitely need this. That's the carapace hood. Can't use these, can't use these. We have some armor plates for the body or for the legs. Can't use those. So essentially, right here, this is what we've got right here. So the first thing we're going to do is, this is going to be part one. This is going to be the opener. I do have some legs. They are going to be very unique, and we will show you that in the future videos. So this is just our opener. We are going to get this knight on a base. We're going to build it. We're going to do some conversions. We're going to make this more chaos even. We're going to put some spikes. We're going to put some chains. We're going to do a whole bunch of good things to this. Right now, before I can even start doing that, I got to get this at least assembled in order to be able to even put legs on it. And that's what we're going to do with this session. So let me go ahead, grab some glue, grab some other things that I need, and then we'll come back and we'll start this. Okay, so we're back. I've got everything I need. Got the glue, got the zap kicker, got some razor blades. So the first thing I've decided that I need to do, looking this whole thing over, this carapace fits, and it fits okay. It fits fairly well. Once I get it on, get it bolted down, it's going to work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to deal with the fact that we do not have an exhaust, right? So the exhaust goes through here, and we don't have the mount for the shoulder pads like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this shoulder pad ring here, and we're going to make this fit in this place here. Now what's that's going to do is that's going to give me about a 1/16 of an inch gap from here to here on this shoulder pad, which is going to end up sort of like this when done. Sort of like that. But I don't care. The little 1/16 of an inch or 2 millimeter gap, it's going to be okay. It's not going to be horrific. It's not going to look crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these off right here first. So we're going to do a little cleanup in here, just a little sanding, kind of flatten this all out. Right there. As you guys can see, now that's flat across the top here. So we're going to clean up this little part here, just sort of round it so it doesn't look like trash once we get it assembled. Although this is chaos, so this is very similar to orcs. We have a lot of flexibility when dealing with chaos, unlike Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights have to kind of be super pristine, clean. Upkeep is special. So the guys, I guess, the mechanics spend a lot of time keeping them clean, where chaos, obviously not so much. Okay, so now, next what we're going to do is we're going to take these here, and we're going to have to get rid of those because we need this ring to sit flat right there. So let's get rid of these. So same thing, we're just going to cut them off. So we're going to come in here, again, just some quick cleanup. We don't need this little nub. This little nub here. File that flat. Okay, so now we're going to come over here and we're going to get out the sanding pad. So everybody who does conversions should have one of these. Basically, this is a cutting board. This is UHMW plastic. So we're going to come in here and we're going to put this down. And because this surface is machined flat, it'll end up giving us a nice flat machined surface that we can bond. So we're going to come in here and we're just going to do circles. Okay, nice and flat. So now we have a mark there, a mark there, and another mark right there. So we know the position of this. So it'll go just like this. Just like that. It'll become one complete assembly. So what we're going to do is we're going to test fit real quick. As I've said in the past, we always want to do test fitting, mock-ups. We just don't want to glue something on and not have an idea of what we have. So that will go there. And then we're going to take this here and we're going to see sort of what it's going to look like. See, look at that. I was correct. About a 1/16 of an inch gap. And that's going to be okay. Actually, it looks good. So we're going to go ahead and bond this. Okay, so that is one side bonded and centered. And then for the mock-up, it goes like that. And it'll look something like that. With a little gap. And I'll work on that gap just a little bit. I'll close it up just a little. And all I got to do is take a little bit off of this, kind of work it, bend it a little bit, apply a little bit of heat, and then we'll get this to fit nice and tight. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the other side. You've seen this side. I'm going to do the other side the same way. Cut these tangs off. Cut these tangs off. Sand it and get it on here, and then we'll come back. Okay, so now that we have this framing system on, glued in place both sides, shoulder pads, I've pre-tested them. They mount, they fit, they're going to look good. So the next thing we have to do is, we're going to clean this up here, but then we're going to start on the exhaust. I have to figure out what to do with the exhaust before I can actually glue on this top carapace piece. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drill 2 holes on each side. We're going to open up those exhaust ports out, and then we're going to start building. I'm going to do this offline. Then I'll come back and show you what I've done. That way I can actually keep the video relatively short. I wanted to pop back in here real quick just to describe some processes that I used to make exhaust pipes. So as you can see, we have one set of exhaust pipes already on one side. So I just want to describe the process real quick. So as before on my Orcs, I've showed you this wire. And I've showed you how to go to Home Depot or some hardware store and you buy yourself a thick piece of wire. This happens to be stranded wire, not solid core, so they're strands. 8 gauge, 12 gauge, 10 gauge, maybe 6, just depends. And that's the thickness of the wire. So here is an example of a bent piece of wire with a straw. This is a paper straw. This is the wire. So this is a stack up. Again, this is some of the stuff that you have to do in order to build up or to get an exhaust pipe to look exactly how you want it to look. So what I had to do is I had to take the wire, the paper straw that I'm going to cut to size. I have to put that on the wire first. Then I took this straw, used it as the base here. Then I took a pen, a ballpoint pen, cut that with a razor blade into 3 discs. Then I took another felt tip marker. This one happens to be orange. But I took that felt tip marker, cut it, and then put it on top of the straw. So just to make one exhaust work, I used probably 3 to 4 different products, maybe 5. So it's just to illustrate what you have to do in order to get exhaust pipes to kind of look funky, either orky or chaos or imperial, cutting angles and such to get it to look like an exhaust stack. All right, we're back, and here we are. So pretty standard build, nothing special. Again, I had to kind of work out some type of details here. This little piece right here is called a nutsert, and I've used that on other stuff in my orc army. What that is it's this thing here, typically used in aircraft design or aircraft mounting. It's threaded. So anyway, so we use that in here. Regular gun, nothing special. Got the shoulders mounted like we discussed. See up in here, you can see the pipes made out of wire. Check out that exhaust. Got some spiky bits coming around. There's the other exhaust. Again, looking really good. So give you a shot of the gaps. Remember we talked about once I get it mounted between here and here. Those gaps are sweet. I mean, they're perfect. 1/16 of an inch, 2 millimeters, both sides, looking really good. Got the Magaera head mounted. Got his breastplate mounted underneath. So for now, we're going to wrap this one up. This is going to end part 1. We're going to go into part 2, where we're going to actually start making this look more like a chaos model, not so clean. So we're going to start adding spikes, adding chains, adding skulls, doing all type of good stuff like what on the orc side, you've seen my orc work, where we've added rivets and things, I called it orking it up, right? Making it orky. Well, we're going to do the same thing to this bad boy. We're going to make it chaos. So we're going to start adding some spikes, skulls, chains. We're going to do some really cool stuff in part 2, as well as we're going to mount it on its base. And when you see that base or its legs, when you see what I got coming, oh my gosh, this is going to be fantastic. It's going to be amazing. So if you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when I release part 2, because part 2 we're going to start, like I said, really doing this thing up. We're going to add that artistic feeling to it. hit that like button because, of course, likes helps out the channel. And stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned. For all you guys that have already subscribed, I really appreciate you. For new guys watching this channel for the first time, go check out all my other stuff. This is just the introduction of my Chaos Army. This is going to be the first model. I got more Chaos stuff coming. I got more Orc stuff coming, and I still got my Grey Knights. So like we always say on the channel, everybody, may all your dice rolls come up 6s unless you're looking for a 1. Peace out.